Welcome back to Simply Delicious 101. For those of you just joining us, welcome. I've been thinking about whether or not I want to give away a recipe that is near and dear to me, and that is bacon. I refer to it as cracked bacon because whoever I give it to, I gotta keep supplying. And since I was thinking about it, I thought, you know what? We're friends. We'll keep it between us. And here is my bacon recipe, just between us. I make two kinds of bacon. I make a traditional bacon, which is made with belly, and I also make what they call buckboard or cottage bacon, which is made from a pork shoulder. I'm going to show you both. As a bonus, when this is all ready to cure and ready to smoke, I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. So, before we begin, I have a plastic cutting board that I have put inside a big cookie sheet. If the liquid spills, it's contained in the cookie sheet. I don't have it all over my counter, all over my floor. It's contained. I get my shoulders and my belly from local stores. They come sealed in these bags with liquid. I have bought food grade containers. With this, I can take the shoulder out of the bag and all that liquid is contained in that tub. And then I'm not dripping liquid everywhere with the possibility of salmonella getting spread everywhere. So I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to dry off my shoulder. When I come back, I'll show you how to debone and get ready to cure. Okay, now that I've got my shoulder dried, my mess cleaned up, you'll notice the pork shoulder has a bone. Now, if you have a butcher that can take this bone out, saves you a lot of time and energy. I just do it myself and I don't worry about it. But you want to use a boning knife. It's flexible and it's made to get around bone. So you're just going to cut around this bone and follow it all the way around. Now, pork shoulder bone is very unique, and this takes a lot of practice. Okay, now I have deboned this shoulder. I got something special planned for this, and that'll come up later. Okay, now we have deboned, so now we're going to do what they call a butterfly. We're just going to cut the two sides, and it's called butterfly because you're splitting the two halves. You're going to butterfly it all the way through. And now you have two sides. Now, I'll put this in a 2-gallon Ziploc bag. And then I'll show you how to get it cured. Now I have my belly and my shoulders. I get 2-gallon Ziploc bags. I will put the cure, which I've already made. I will put my recipe in the comments below. But essentially, you want to take your rub and put it front and back. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to do these and get this cleaned up, and I'll be right back. Now, when you clean up, use at least a 10% solution of bleach to water. You can either do that or use sanitary wipes. But you want to make sure you do not have any bacteria and or salmonella for your meat. I will put these in the fridge for 5 to 7 days. Every day, I will flip them over. And then we'll come back here and we'll continue, and I'll show you what I did. Okay, it's been 5 days. This seems like it's several days to me, but in video editing, it was a second. Every day, I flipped my bag and rotated it to the next side. What went on as a dry rub has pulled moisture from the meat so that the salt could penetrate into the meat and thus creating a cure. Now, as you can see, my pan is nice and shiny. It's not because it's crystal clean. It's because one of my bags had a small leak. Never trust a bag. Always put it in a container. So, from here, I will take them out of the bag. I will rinse them off, get them dried off, and put in the pan. I'll see you back here in just a second. Okay, as you can see, the bacon's been rinsed. You may also see that not all the pepper is on the bacon. That's okay. That's just going to add flavor to your cracked bacon. The rinse is to get most of the pepper and the salt off the meat. I then pat it dry with paper towel. And yes, I know what you're thinking. I do go through a lot of paper towel. Now that this is dried and ready to go, I'm going to let it sit here. And that's going to serve 3 purposes. One, it's going to allow the meat to get tacky. When you feel it, it should feel tacky. That's when you know it's ready to go. 2, it's going to allow the meat to come up to room temperature. You want it at constant temperature. 3, it's going to allow me to get my smokers ready. Now, if you have a charcoal smoker, I highly recommend you get a chimney. Put paper in the bottom, put it with charcoal, and it will take off in no time at all. It's the quickest way to get charcoal wick. Now, I have found I like thick, natural lump charcoal. I don't use briquettes. I use these. I found one with extra large chunks. I've also found some that are competition logs. I like using the bigger pieces because I have to use less to heat. This is just my preference. Now, you can get your wood chunks wherever you get your barbecue supplies. However, I had an apple tree that just needed to come down. So, I have wood that I cut out of my tree. Now, with that being said, make sure it's a wood that you would find with your barbecue supplies. Maple, cherry, oak. Don't just throw anything in your smoker. Mine is apple, so my bacon will be smoked with apple. So I'm going to get this going, and then we'll get going on the next step. Are you there? Oh, there you are. I see it. As you can tell, my smoker is up and rolling. I want to have a serious conversation for a moment. Whether you're doing warm smoke or cold smoke, there's one common thing, and that is a heat source. Where there's a heat source, there is potential for issue. Whether I'm smoking, warm, cold, or grilling, I have a fire extinguisher. If there's an issue, I can get it taken care of. Because I use a lot of warm smoke and it has a lot of heat, I also wear very protective gloves. Now, I can do a lot of things and I don't have to worry about getting burnt. So, make sure you are protecting yourself, your home, your family, and your friends. As you can see, my smoker is ready to roll. I will maintain between 225 and 275 until my bacon reaches 150 internal temperature. Oh, you gotta quit sneaking up on people. Okay, so my bacon's come out of the sous vide. I put it in the fridge. It's nice and firm. I'm getting it all cut up. Yeah, you're right. I am not using a guard. You should. However, if you'll notice, I am using my cut-proof glove. Now, am I going to say it's going to keep me from doing major issue? No. But I'm watching my blade. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. However, the glove's going to keep me from doing any damage that I might accidentally do without the guard. You know, I get down to the end. I quit. I'm not going to put my finger in harm's way. However, with that being said, just because I can't slice this doesn't mean it goes to waste. I'll chunk this up and I'll have it for anything else that I want chunks of bacon. So instead of having to pull out my slices and cutting them up, I can have nice meaty chunks. So I'm going to finish slicing this up. I got my vacuum sealer out. I've got my bags ready and my kitchen scale. For my family of 5, a pound pack should be fine. I'll get it all packed up and get it in the freezer. Please do me a favor and like and subscribe.